Good evening, and welcome to the Immersive Experience. I'm your guide, Desilu, and tonight we talk about the art of submitting. I do want to talk about what submission is, and the only reason why I want to have this conversation is somebody had brought it to my attention that it's that we basically just out here settling for whatever because we think that guys can somehow that we should submit to guys, and I agree that there is some extent of us submitting, that is something that is important. But first of all, let's talk about what submission is, and that's really us being able to give up our power and to put that power into somebody else's hands. You understand what I'm saying? Not in the case, and if we're talking about a relationship, that's me being able to come into a relationship with a man and be like, oh, okay, so he's taking care of the bills, or he's taking care. It's easy for you to submit to a person. Oh, he's gonna handle me emotionally. Oh, he knows how to deal with me here or there. Like those are the type of things when we talk about submitting. That's relinquishing your power to another person, basically. But that's only if you think that you can trust them. Um, Whew, can we trust people? I got trust. I got trust issues, so I'm not really too sure about who I can trust, what that type of thing would look like for me, or anything like that. Because I really do feel like in this day and age, it's hard to find somebody that you can really just be like, oh yeah, I trust you. I trust you enough to submit to you. In order for me to submit to a guy, I really have to understand that you have my best interest at heart, okay? In order for me to submit to you, I have to understand that you also have your best interest at heart. It's easy for me to submit to a guy who understands this is what I want, who's intentional. If you're a guy who's just like fly by the seat of your pants and you expect a woman to submit to you, that's hard. I was watching a podcast, and the guy was simply stating that he was like, I'll go in debt for you. I'll do these things for you. And I'm like, baby, listen, that ain't the man I want to leave me. Cause bitch, what you finna do? Walk us off a cliff of debt? Bro, what the fuck? No. He's like, I give my life for you. I'll do all of these. And don't get me wrong, like I feel like those are very great qualities to have as a person, like things that could get you interested in something. Like, oh, okay, like, oh yeah, he kind of really like you messing with me, you want to see what something is about. But in the sense of what though? Like enough to cause yourself or create yourself financial turmoil to appease to me? I got a problem with that. I think that a lot of people would see that, oh, I want a man just like that. But in the long run, he's setting y'all up for failure. It's hard to submit to a person like that. It's easy for us to talk about submitting. It's easy for us to expect someone to submit to us because we deem ourselves the head of a household, or we deem ourselves fit to lead a people. But in reality, we're not fit to do any of that. If you haven't figured out how to properly navigate yourself, if you haven't submitted to yourself just yet, and let's say, because I've run into a lot of guys, I'm a big girl, right? So let's talk about it from a big girl's perspective. I've ran into guys who would tell me like, "Oh, I can't date big girls because what would my friends say? Why would I want to be with you? We too concerned about the ideal of what other people have to say about what we have going on. I wouldn't want to submit to you. I wouldn't even want you to pursue me at that point. Like, baby, what? What do you mean? You're worried about them? It's just me and you, honey. But I get it. When we all say that we have preferences, but when we're really breaking down our preferences of what we want or what we're looking for, is that something that we're truly getting, or is it something that somebody else has said to us? Are we thinking about the way that somebody else is going to look at it? I think for a lot of women, submission is hard, right? Because we run into so many men, we choose so many men who don't seem to have our best interest at heart. And so it's like submitting, and this guy like, oh, give me your whole check, I'm finna go and flip it for you, and then you don't never see none of your money back. Like, I got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you mean? But we're supposed to submit. we're supposed to be these women, these soft women. And I think it was a podcast with Umar Johnson on it, and he was basically saying like, you black men are mad at black women because they had to hold up an entire thing, a whole generation by themselves, where they put in 85% of the work, and we're mad because they didn't do it the way that we thought they should do it. They didn't do it perfect enough. They didn't do it femininely enough for us. You know what I'm saying? And I felt that. But in the same breath, it's all about being able to take that step back and understand when somebody is coming in to help you, when somebody is coming in and saying, like, hey, listen, I do see that this is that load for you. I want to be able to trust you with me. I can't submit to you if I don't trust you with me. And I think we also ask that question of, when does submission, how far does submission go until it becomes a form of abuse? You know what I'm saying? Because it's some men out there who like, I just want a woman who just gonna shut the fuck up and not say nothing, not do nothing, not like, nigga, what you might as well with marry a rock then, bitch. Cause what are you going to do with a woman who don't speak, who can't add nothing to you, who can't do like, is that a form of low self-esteem, to want to be dominant in every single area, where you have no comprehension of what the woman that you're with is going through? I feel like in order for me to submit to a man, he has to be aware of me. Because there's a lot of men who want women to submit to them, and they're not aware of the woman that they're with. And I think that's how things get started, where you don't let her use her voice, and you don't let her. That's how those things become abuse. There's a mental form of abuse, if whether it's an emotional form of abuse, they all lead to the same thing. Where I feel like we just have to find ways. We have to pick the right people to submit to. And I feel like for women, we've chose wrong on so many occasions. Oh, too many occasions. On too many occasions we've chose wrong, right? So we're always thinking like, oh, this nigga want me to submit to him. I'm not gonna submit to this nigga. Nigga, you know how many times I done been played with this in my life, bitch? Fuck. You want me to just come up in here and you supposed to just tell me, oh, do this, do that, and I'm just supposed to hop to it. It's a lot of things. Like when I start talking to guys, I try to see how much they want from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you looking to get out of this? What you looking to? And everybody keeps telling me, when you go into a relationship or when you talking to somebody, you got to be intentional. You got to be intentional. My only intention is to get to know you. And that's the only way I'm going to be able to submit to you. If I agree with the type of person you are, that's the only way I'm going to be able to be like, hey, you got it, big fella. Handle me. Handle me. But I really do feel like every woman wants to get to that point where they can tell a man like, hey, handle me. Because I feel like we've gotten to this mode of, I don't need a man. I don't need. But let's be honest. In order for you to be that feminine woman that you said you wanted to be, you need a man to come in and show you that it's okay to let down that guard, to put down that armor of, I got this, I can handle this. Like, come on. I want somebody to hold my hand when I get sick. I want somebody to check up on me when I get sick. It's not necessarily to say that I need it, but I know how good it feels. And if I can have somebody where I'm not, I think it was Steve Harvey and some guy, and a lady was on his show, and she was basically saying like, oh, me and my husband, we've been together for such and such amount of years, and basically like he don't, I gotta ask him to do everything. Like, hey, a hug would be nice, or hey, I really like to go out to dinner, or like. And the guy on there told her, like, we're just guys, we only hear 25% of what y'all don't want. I'm not gonna submit to no shit like that. Nigga, you don't even pay attention to me. Are you fucking serious? Like, that's a problem for me. Where it could have been okay for her, and she probably went back home and was like, yeah, honey, this is what I need. I need for you to pay attention to me and understand what I don't have time to keep going back and forth through that. I'm not submitting to a man who can't see me. I refuse to. For what? I don't get that. Let's see if it's being submissive a form of low self-esteem. I don't know how I feel about that. It can be. I think that it's easier to be a people pleaser than it is to just kind of stand up for yourself. I know I battled that where, and it wasn't even to the fact that I was necessarily like just way out like low self esteem, but it's kind of like, is this what I can look forward to? Is this what I'm gonna be getting? Is this the only thing that I can get? Why, when I thought I was just too fat, too black, too ugly to even have a nigga look my way. You understand? Like, well, no, that nigga want me. Like, what is you talking about? These niggas is not checking for me. So the first thing that was presented to me, it was easier for me to attach on to it and submit to it because it was the first. They were the first person to show me like, hey, you are worth this, or hey, you're not too black, or hey, you're not too fat to receive the type of love that you're looking for. And so even though it might have seemed like it was something that was so good, so great for me at the time because it was something that I had never received. It wasn't at all what the fuck I was looking for. So it was me having to come into the understanding like, yes, you can be submissive, but don't be submissive because of your insecurities. Don't be submissive because of the way you've been made to feel about yourself, or the things that you've been made to think that you want, or to think that you need, and to think that this is the only person that can provide them for you, because that's not the case, baby. Just like it's a million and one people in my line trying to bust through my phone line and talk to me. I know for every woman, it's a million and one people trying to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And it might not seem like that at the time because it's a lot of men who be in your inbox that you're just not interested in. You know what I'm saying? But they're probably the men that you could definitely go ahead and just be like, well, let me see what's to you. Let me see what you're talking about. But as far as it being a form of low self-esteem, I think that it has the ability to go to that extreme, as to where I'm gonna submit to you because I have no idea. I don't know what else I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I really think that we have to get into ourselves and understand exactly what we want. And when we understand what we want, then yes, we can move into a relationship with the intention of, this man is someone I can submit to. And then another question that I have is, do men have to submit in relationships? And hell the fuck yes, you do. Yes, men have to submit in relationships. There is nothing that comes without a give and take. And when we're talking submission, it's just, to me, it just feels like a form of respect. I respect your opinion enough. I respect your leadership enough to say, hey, listen, this is what we're doing. Hey, Alexander, and this is what we're doing. And okay, and since this is what we're doing, then I will allow you to guide me the way that you guide me. Please take over, do what you need to do. And I'm okay with that. But also in the same form, don't strip me of my voice. Don't strip me of my opinions. It's never a place where a man should have to come into my life and just be like, this is just this and that and that. And I would be like, boy, fuck you. And I'm gonna get the fuck on, because like, I don't think it's like that. I feel like it's, if I meet a person, I really, really have to trust you with me in order to be able to submit to you. I have to trust your decision making skills enough. And the way I see you handle you is exactly how I feel like, okay, if he handle himself like that, I think of it as like driving in a car with crazy people, right? Well, you could have a driver who just be driving all over the place, switching lanes, like, and you'll be thinking like, this motherfucker finna kill me. Like, they gonna kill me. And the case is not that they're about to kill you, because they care about their life just as much as they care about your life. But let's be honest, when people be in the car with me and be like, girl, you driving crazy, girl, I love me too much to kill us. What the fuck is you talking about? Like, and that's the type of place where I would be able to submit. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, that's where I'm at. Like, I need you to love you enough to not hurt me. And that's how I can submit to a person. And even in a relationship with a man, I care about you enough. I'm not going to do anything to take advantage of your submission. And I believe that there is so much power in submission. I think we as women, we get afraid of submitting to men because so often we've picked the wrong motherfuckers. And it's just kind of like, oh, they did anything with us because we let them do anything with us. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's about thinking of your choices, thinking of the men that you're talking to, the men that you're deciding to date at that time, what they're giving you, what they're not giving you. All of these things play into it. And a lot of people was like, well, I think for us, it's just become so transactional. So if I'm just giving you, giving, oh, I'm giving you money, I'm paying your bills, you should submit to me. And I feel like that's where things get a little misconstrued. Like you feel like, and it's easy to misconstrue things because I'm providing for you. And since I'm providing for you as a man, as a woman, what should you be doing? Because I'm taking care of you. And if you don't want me to take care of you, then and I feel like that's where we come to odds at. That's where we come to those conflicts at, where it's just kind of like now we butting heads. The situation of giving only works when you trust someone to know that it's not just bullshit. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I think when submitting in any relationship for any sex, you have to know that you can trust that person. Like they not just gonna do anything to run me off or make me feel some type of way or just do anything to get over on me. I think in this day and age, we all afraid of being taken advantage of. And I think submitting too early can cause can cause that because that's the causation. That's the reality of it. If I keep giving you my hand, the only thing what you gonna fall in love with? My hand. Like, so what you mean? So it's a lot of men out here who will be like, oh, that woman, she just easy to deal with. And is she easy to deal with because she's a pushover and you're not used to nobody else voicing their opinion? Or is she actually easy to deal with because she was able to submit because she could trust you? What type of man are you? And and are you the type of man when you're asking for these things, are you the type of man who has mm, the demeanor about him to know how to handle those things that you're asking for? You know what I'm saying? I think it's kind of like when they tell women like, "Oh, you want a hardworking man, you want to do. Are you the counter to that? So if you want a woman who's submissive, are you the counter to a submissive woman? Because it's not just about, I feel like a lot of people get this mentality of, oh, she just needs to shut up and do what I ask her to do. And I feel like that's why we come to odds about submission so many times. Like, because it's really a thing of what's been instilled in us about submission. I really think we have to change the way we think about submission. I see it like I said, like it's a power to me. Like if I'm submitting, like I have power. Like I got so much power. I'm playing a part and letting you take the lead role. Cause let's be clear about something. I'm a motherfucking badass, right? So like I'm the shit, honestly, and you're coming in and you compliment me so nicely. You can do the things that I've always, you can articulate me. You could be the person that I need you to be, while I be the person that you need me to be. And it doesn't take away from us as individuals. It doesn't mean that because you are this person and I'm your whatever we are, because there's a lot of different submissions that happen in this day and age now, whether it's just sexual, whether we just platonic or whatever. Let's not even say platonic, but whether we just friends with benefits. I mean, guys want submission on so many different levels, and there's no title. And that's why I think it's so easy for us to get things misconstrued because we walk around thinking what we say, oh, I don't want no relationship, but I want everything that comes with the relationship. Submission has been used as the let's go back to traditionalism. But at the end of the day, submission is a stage in two. I can be easy in every moment. And I think they use the physical submission as a reward when the emotional submission is the deeper. I agree with that. Because emotional submission is what you want. I want you to, but I want you to submit on every level though, because I think it's just kind of like a thing where a man, I think a lot of men have told me like, oh, we want to be they want to be approached for sexual advances, and when you're in a relationship, of course, because I, or however strong you is, because these women out here asking niggas to marry them these days. And that is not for me. I will not get down on one knee and be like, please marry me. I don't got it in me. I do not have that type of nothing in me. Never, never. And I don't know if it's just about like the roles or whatever the case may be, but I'm not that female. I'll approach you if I want to talk to you, but I ain't never asking you to marry me, because what they say, women hold the key to sex and men hold the key to marriage or some shit like that that they say, and that might be true. But I guess these women done came over and took them little motherfucking keys. Men need to be submissive. Why? Because it's too many women out here on their boss fucking shit. Y'all need to shut the fuck up and listen to what the fuck we are saying. We out here getting down on our knees asking y'all to marry us and shit. Y'all need to listen. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Out here acting like we the bad guys because we don't know how to articulate what the fuck we want for real. Girl, boy, fuck y'all. You knew when I said it was nothing, it was something. The fuck is you? But anyways, to me, I think those are just things though. And a lot of people, we talk about traditionalism a lot, but let's be honest, we don't float there anymore. It's not. I think of it in a way as where women in a time where we used to have to be submissive because we had access to nothing. But now I got access to the same shit you got access to. So what the fuck? Bitch, I'm a boss just like you a fucking boss. So what the fuck am I really, what am I submitting to? There has to be more to you than just I can provide for you and I can pay your bills and I could do that. If you really want me to submit to you, you got to provide me with emotional security, mental security. Like there's, it's more to a relationship than I could just take it. Bitch, I can take care of myself. Bitch, I've been paying my own bills. Bitch, I've been handling all these kids, all 10 of them by myself. You hear me? And women, y'all gotta stop letting these niggas come in here and y'all be making them pay to just look at y'all. Like, if you try to get into a relationship and you just want to be seen, like you just want some help with your bills, or like, I don't know, I give a nigga a few weeks before I start asking him for some money. Like, nigga, I need help with these bills. You try to talk to me. Like, nigga, you got time. You got time to come in and get to know me. To really understand, like, is this something that I want to deal with? Is this a person that I want to be with? Before I even get to grow sister in your ass. We got questions. We got shit that we should be talking about, I feel like. And I think somebody told me that it was hard, that it was hard being pretty because you never knew the people who were there for you. And I think I have seen a lot of women, a lot of pretty women go through go through that. So I like to tell people often, like, as much as we think that we're different, we're not. You know, we're those gorgeous women with those faces, them Instagram models and different things, like they all battle the same insecurities. We all battle the same different things. And then another question that I had asked myself is, wanting to dominate in every situation a form of insecurity? Because why do you feel like your opinion has to be the top opinion? Like, is there nothing else that we could do? Nothing else that could possibly save us from the turmoil that you're about to put us through? Like, but I do think wanting to dominate everything is a form of insecurity. I think I have run into a lot of people that I've worked with, for sure, where they were. I had a lady I worked with. She was in an abusive relationship at home, but when she would come to work, baby, that was her stumping ground. That was her time to play. That was her time to let her hair down and be the dominant person that she couldn't be with her husband because he was beating the fuck out of her every single day. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't let that didn't stop her from coming in and trying to run all of us. You got to understand when a person is projecting. You got to understand where a person is is just they scared. And so in order to hide that fear, they gotta amp up the amount of dominating that they got in them, the amount of anger that they got in them to intimidate you. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't never been worried about a person. I can always see through that type of shit. Like, oh, okay, you just putting on airs. I'm gonna get down to the real you. I feel you. I see you. You know what I'm saying? So the art of submitting is definitely it's tricky right now because I think of all the gray areas that we have. But the art of submission is a beautiful thing. If you can find a man, if you can find a woman that you could trust enough because they're honest enough and you can see who they are and you could actually submit to them and be like, "Hey, listen, I'm I'm putting my life in your hands and that's that." Like if I'm with a man, I don't care where we at in life. If somebody trying to do something to you, if somebody trying to hurt you, and you tell me you need my help, like help is on the way. Help is on the motherfucking way. Why I'm gonna let them play with you? Cause they not finna play with me. I don't want them playing with you. I don't want them to play with anything that's associated with me at all. And that's when a man knows that, okay, I've seen so many men who have been married and the first thing they meet a problem, the first thing they do is like, "Hey, let me call my wife, she always got solutions." I'm looking to be that. That's what I want to be like. Oh yeah, my wife got the answer, let me call her real quick. Or my girl got the answer, let me call her real quick. Or my friend got the answer, let me call her real quick. It is whatever it is. At whatever relationship you are in your life, I want to be the person that you can depend on, because that way it's easy for me to submit to you because you're not going to take advantage of that, especially if I know that. Now, if you just flip on me out of nowhere, and I'm kind of like, God dang, I've been this blind the entire time. Like, nah, bro. I know you weren't playing me all this time. So submitting comes with a lot of mental insecurities, really, because of the past that we've had, the things that we've encountered, the trust issues that we deem to have for ourselves these days. You know what I'm saying? So I really think it's just about finding that happy medium of when and where to submit and with who. Because we know that if we're at work, we're submitting to the higher authority that is above us. Some of us, because I don't never submit to them. My job be like, get this bitch up out of here. Fire her. And I'll be like, you gonna fire me? You're gonna fire me. I'm the best player you got on this motherfucking team. Bitch, I am the team. The fuck is you talking about? Can submitting to someone create a false sense of security? Yes. Yes, it can. Because this whole time while I'm submitting to you, I'm thinking you're gonna take care of everything that is me. And it's been so many times that people have neglected that part of what is you, of who you are, of the things that you could possibly be. They will neglect you when submission is introduced, because what is their ideology of submission? And I need to know. That's my first. When a man starts talking about something, I like a submissive woman. What's your definition of submissive? Because is it a definition that I can get with? Is it something I could get behind? So as soon as that man started telling me how he like a woman to submit, and oh, and a lot of times niggas just, that's all they ever say to me is, I just want a woman who can shut the fuck up and listen, baby. I'm all on board for shutting the fuck up, but no, I can't shut the fuck up because you want me to appease to your feelings. Like that's never been anything that I've been able to do at all. Like just to become this person where I gotta close my mouth because you want to be more right than what I got to tell you. Like, no, you ain't the type of person that I should be submitting to. Even these people who be out here talking and preaching about, oh, Islam and all of these other types of places. And I really be trying to ask myself, is you that nigga to even talk about that? Like, do you practice what Farrakhan be practicing? Is you practicing what these ninjas and other niggas out here be practicing? You talk about polygamy, you got everything that you need. Are you really that man to have that type of woman? Like, Is you really examining yourself to really see, like, am I that person? You know, am I that nigga? Is what that's really what you need to be asking yourself. Like, am I really that nigga? Is you? Because a lot of y'all niggas not that nigga. Y'all just some boys and y'all dirty clothes, like trying to play like y'all that nigga and y'all not. Like y'all really be falling and failing short of these of what y'all be wanting, and y'all just be sitting there beating women up, trying to make them submit to y'all, and y'all don't even be worth it. You're not worth the submission. It's not us. Check yourself. I ain't gonna say it's I ain't gonna say it's not us. It's not always us. Because it can be us. Ladies, it can be us. It can definitely be. It was me for a long time, trust me. You know, it's your attitude, it's your behavior, it's the way that you carry yourself, the demeanor of you. But submitting to a man for me these days is super easy. If you the man that I feel like I could submit to, if you a man that, even if you a man, and as dumb as this shit may sound, there have been men that I have met where their wives will go to work and come back and hand them their entire checks. Why? Because I trust you. I know my bills gonna get paid. I know I'm gonna still be able to eat. I know you gonna handle the money the way you need to be able to handle the money. I know you still gonna give me something to let me go out and shop and do what I need to do. If that's the type of nigga you dealing with, then of course, what person wouldn't come in and be like, oh yeah, I'm giving you everything? But like for a lot of people, that's scary. Cause how can I trust a person with that much of me? That's a lot of security that I gotta give you. That's a lot of me that I gotta give you. And like I said a million and one times, there is so much power in submission. There's a lot of power in submission where we feel as if we might be giving our power away, or we might be, whenever you're in that position, whenever you say stop, whenever you're tired, whenever you get done with it, if it's too rough, if it's too much, at any point you could be like, yeah, I'm good. What's your code word? Pineapples? Blue? Like, what is your code word? And I think in a relationship with a woman who is submissive, with a man who is submissive, as long as we're communicating, as long as we're talking, as long as we're expressing ourselves in the manner that we need to express ourselves, we are never going to miss a moment of where we need to better ourselves, where we need to fix something, where we need to correct, because I can trust you with me. And the reason I can trust you with me is because I can articulate what I'm going through, what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling. And that's the way that submission works, because whenever it's too much, the person who is submitting it is simple to just be like, hey, you don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the art of submission. And that's really how I feel about it. If you're going to go and submit to a person, then you need to make sure that everything that you're submitting about is accurate with everything that is withstanding inside of you. And everything that withstands inside of them needs to match up with what you got going on. If it's not, then you need to leave. It's not even a reason to be there. It's not even a reason to sit there and try to work it out. You're going to hurt yourself. But thank you guys so much for tuning into the immersive experience. I appreciate you, and you all have an amazing night. Thank you.